It's okay. Off your mic. It's okay. She off your mic.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. He go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind. Oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Can in the touchlight every corner. Oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai. Them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power. Over naira. See them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This man not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Aha. Oh, Bashe, Adi Maiyegun ma wí. Maiyegun diary,
Good evening to you, good morning to you, good afternoon to you from wherever you are watching from. And this is Maiyegun Live. And thank you so much for joining me, by the way. And I'm so sorry that we are starting late. We're supposed to have started 30 minutes ago, but we encountered a serious technical wahala. But we are here now. And I'm also glad that finally my guest will also be joining me, and you'll get to meet him soon. It's going to be conversation among the Yorubas in diaspora, starting with the Yorubas in the UK. When we talk about the interest of the Yorubas living outside Nigeria, I mean, in what is going on in Nigeria, as they are as affected as anyone in Nigeria, since we all have our family and all that there. So, what role are we going to play as the political class in Nigeria continue to rob the people of the dignity, the citizenship, including the protection, the prosperity of the land, things that we complain about, but we have limited power to actually tackle or make a difference of. In this regard, Yorubas have demanded for restructuring in the past. Yorubas have demanded for a new constitution in the past. Yorubas have demanded for so many things to address the differences of the ethnic nationalities in Nigeria. But the political power, the powers that be, the owners of Nigeria, the gatekeepers of Nigeria that cut across all ethnic nationalities as we speak, decided to bury that. But yeah, we have been so much what do you call it, so involved when it comes to the economic survival of our people back in Nigeria through the economic strangulation of the system called Nigeria. But here we are now, even our own safety, living abroad, going back home, going back to Yoruba land, our safety are no longer guaranteed. But yet we complain, we talk, we wish. It is time to act. And that is why, starting with the Yorubas in the UK, we have somebody that can be our rallying point, appointed, elected as the coordinator for Ilana Oodua in the UK. So if you are watching me right now, it will be great that you share this broadcast before I bring in my guest. Hello, sir. Good evening to you. Can you hear me?
Yes. It's been an interesting. It's been an interesting. As you can see, I've nearly pulled my beard out.
Man, the technologies these days, as good as they are, sometimes they can be so frustrating, especially in times of emergency like that. I was planning to bring you on by calling you on the program later tonight. So, sir, meet my friends. This is Maiyegun's Diary Politico, and we are honored to have you as our contact point, starting from the Ilana Oodua in the UK. Okay. Sir, would you mind telling us about yourself to my audience, please?
Okay. I don't normally like to boast, as it were, but I'm an orthopedic surgeon. I suppose in Yoruba, and told you I want to ní làkúrègbé. When I repair broken knees, I have developed my own artificial knee. I was interested in knee ligaments, so I used to treat sportsmen who damaged their knees. I was also interested in how bones heal when they break and how they develop in the womb. So that's the sort of research that I was doing. I was an academic. I was a senior lecturer in a university in the UK. I also have a qualification in law. I used to sit on tribunals in the UK as what they call a judicial office holder, which is to some extent similar to a judge. You sit there, you listen to what lawyers are saying and what patients are saying, and so on and so forth, and you make your decision. I really became interested or involved in what we are doing 2010-20. I don't know if anybody recognizes that date, 2010-20. That was NSAS. when police opened fire on innocent young people.
Young people. Mm.
And what that incident did was it took me back to 1971 when I was at UI, when during a demonstration, similar demonstration on the campus, a friend of mine was shot by the police and killed, Kunle Adepeju. And I suddenly asked myself, if this happened in 1971, 50 years ago, and it is still happening in Nigeria, then that country is such a barbaric country that it did not deserve to exist. So I then wrote a petition to the UN, to the Secretary General of the UN.
Right.
And when I was about to post the letter, my daughter then asked me if she could read it, and so she read it, and then she said to me, "Well, nobody actually knows you. That it would be interesting if you could get many more people interested in this." So I asked, "How can I do that?" And then she said, "Why don't you join Twitter?" So I joined Twitter, and since then I've written over 15,000 tweets in 1 year. I tweet every day. I write essays. I write little bits. I do quizzes on Yoruba words because I'm fascinated by Yoruba words. I'm a Yoruba nationalist. I'm a Yoruba traditionalist, and I don't apologize for that at all. I've written 2 books on the Yoruba. I wrote one on Yoruba medicine, and I wrote one on Yoruba law. What I wanted to prove when I wrote the book on Yoruba law was that Yoruba law was the equivalent of any law anywhere in the world. That the way that the Yoruba organized their civil law, civil legal system is as good as anywhere in the world. And then subsequently, I also became fascinated in what I call the constitutional Oba. I became fascinated in the way that the Yorubas governed themselves. And it seemed to me that is probably the way that the Yorubas governed themselves was probably the best way you could govern a nation anywhere in the world. Because the way that the Yorubas governed themselves never produced a tyrant, did not produce any war until the Europeans came. People talk about Okiriji War, all this war. They all happened in the 1800s after the Europeans started meddling in our affairs. Before then, there was never any war. We did not fight each other. We lived harmoniously. We didn't have tyrants as kings. And that fascinated me. So I asked myself, what is it? How did they organize themselves in such a way that development was uniform, everything was peaceful? And so that brings me to the present, because I was writing a lot of things on Twitter. I then used to take part in what they call Twitter Space, where you turn up, you say your piece, people ask you questions. Anyway, slowly then somebody asked me to join Ilana, and I said, I'm not interested in joining any groups. I am a writer, and what a writer does, a writer is you have conversation with yourself.
That's right.
That's what you do as a writer. That I'm used to conversing with myself, taxing my own brain. I didn't want to join any organization, so I ended up agreeing, because it was only going to cost. The guy kept gnawing at me again and again. It was only going to cost me £5. So what's the problem? So I paid £5 and joined Ilana. And that's how I left it until somebody, an executive member of Ilana, then called me one day and said, we have a problem in the group in London, complained about everybody else. So I said, okay, I will speak to the people you've complained about and see what they have to say. So I spoke to the people. he complained about, they complained about him, and then told them, I said, the two groups, go and work this out.
Mm-hmm.
You are the leaders. You shouldn't be asking the Mekuno to try and sort this problem for you. Go and think about it, talk to each other. But they didn't. So in the end, the Ilana in the UK was dissolved.
Right.
And then a group of some members of the group then asked me if I could convene a meeting and try to get them to reorganize. And that's how I ended up being the coordinator.
Amazing.
And this is a couple of months ago. And when we took over, we had a blank sheet of paper.
I was coming to that part, sir. Yeah. You know, it's interesting, the background of yourself you just gave us, and it's also an interesting journey, a one that we can say is in fact, you know, abstract. However, you have been in charge for a few months. I came across you on Twitter. In fact, I actually thought it was one young man. So, like you said, you've tweeted 15,000 tweets in a year alone. And 100% of these tweets are mostly, like as a writer, you said, talking to yourself, asking yourself questions that other people got interested in. That's what I got interested in. I've also been looking, and not just myself, a lot of Yorubas in the UK. We have been, like yourself, we have been following the, you know, the development back home. And we have also seen the, what do you call it, the incapability of our people. Let me put it this way, like the weakness of our people back home when it comes to standing up for this, what Yoruba truly represents that was taken away from us. So for the past few months, you have been around and you must have possibly, you said you were told to reconvene, and we have been looking for a contact ourselves. So in the last few months that you've been in charge, how would you say it? What would you say the response has been? I mean, you've spoken to a few people, if not many, and you've convened meetings as well. Just give us an idea what it's been like since you've become the
Okay. The word that I was looking for towards the end of what I said earlier was, whether it's Kadara or whatever it is you call it, that is Kadara, that is when something's been written, you just, you know, you're minding your own business, going along nicely. When something is written, that's the way it is. And actually, most of my life has been exactly like that, where I've just found myself. I mean, it's the same way I ended up on the as a member of the General Medical Council here in England. You know, just one thing led to another, and before I knew it, I was sitting on the GMC. So, but what has encouraged me is that since I started a couple of months ago, a lot of people have really rallied round. You know, a lot of people have invited me to speak on one platform or another. I've really enjoyed a lot of support that I never thought I would ever. I mean, my Twitter followers now are nearly 4,000.
Amazing.
And I mean, you know, so I've been really very moved by the response that people have had to me personally.
Yeah, you said you have an approach that you believe will help us. The first one is that you need us to come together, talking about the numbers of Yorubas in the UK, right? You said if we can have a fraction of that coming together to discuss the issue concerning Yoruba land, political, security, economy, education, and all that, that you can launch what can be a better approach towards the Yoruba nation that will be impactful in a short while. So let's talk about that. How? Or what should I say? The plan is how can we galvanize? Let's talk about that. Sorry.
Let me step back a bit. There are estimated 120,000 Yoruba in London. I mean, there are Yoruba people everywhere. I mean, you know, every city that you go to in this country, there are Yoruba people everywhere. But in London, there are at least 120,000 of us. That is the equivalent of 2 parliamentary seats. Right?
I'm with you, sir.
Now, the Jews have roughly the same number as we have in London, 120,000. Now, guess how many Jewish MPs? At one stage, the Jews had 24 MPs. How many MPs do we have as Yoruba? 1. Same number of people. And in some places, the Jews and the Yorubas overlap in some areas of London. Yet, at one stage, they had 24 MPs. And we've had 1. Now, so you start asking yourself, I mean, what's going on here? And people might think that, you know, this is, you know, I'm just talking nonsense. I'll tell you.
No, you are not. I actually get where you're going. And, sir, you'll be surprised that majority actually get where you are going. Okay. Our numbers are not. Go on. I'll let you finish, okay, please. Go on. Mm-hmm.
Let me just tell you what the Jewish MPs do. They form an Israeli lobby, and that's in and out of parliament. There's a lobby. They're everywhere. That lobby supports Israel, whatever the government does. You know, they may criticize the government, but the Israeli government can count on their support. This Israeli lobby, they have their grips, you know, their tentacles, their vice in the Western world because of their numbers, because they utilize their numbers. The Jewish voice in the UK is disproportionate to their numbers. Completely disproportionate to their numbers. So the question that we have to ask ourselves, which is a very, very important question, is this: how do we get political power like the Jews? Because, I mean, you know, if you go to the NHS, I want to allow whether it's doctor, whether it's nurse. Tobani Olosi underground, I want to ticket collector. We are everywhere. And yet we are nowhere. So you're asking yourself, how can you be everywhere and yet you are nowhere? And that's because we really don't understand what political power is. Political power is the ability to influence the outcome. Influence in political power, influence. It allows a group like the Jews to control events, to control policies. Real power means having power over decision makers. Petit MP bad day he'll be quaking. He will be quaking because he knows that there's power there. That's what real power is. He said, individuals, we are doctors, we are lawyers, we are successful, we are so on and so forth. The saying is this, that it is organization that provides the power base for individuals. You have to organize. That it is the organization that provides a power base for the individual. No. You can't do it yourself. You need an organization. And that is where, join. I'm just trying to make sure that you can see me properly with the light.
We can, and we are actually enjoying you, sir.
Okay. This is where organizations like Ilana come in. You know, that no matter what you say about people, whatever it is you want, the fact of the matter is that You need an organization to have power. And that is where, as far as I'm concerned now, Ilana comes in. And what Ilana is that it's a self-determination group. That's all Ilana is. Well, at home, we have problems. How can we influence the problems at home? You can't do it as an individual. And so forth. But in order to influence what is happening in Nigeria, we have to organize. We have to be in organization. Just close your eyes a minute and just think, if the Yorubas had 24 MPs in London, just imagine 24 MPs. Can it 24 MPs? Or even
that are also, sir, that's those 24 MPs that are pro-Yoruba, not pro-Nigeria British.
Exactly. I will come to that in a minute.
Okay, sir.
Come to that in a minute. There are people who, when we talk about Nigeria, there are people who, I'm trying to choose my words because I'm not sure that one can blame somebody who's pro-Nigeria because he was born in Nigeria, he's lived his life in Nigeria, that's all he knows. And one of the things you find when you study abusive relationships, you know, where a wife or a child is abused, because they don't know any better, they stay in that condition. It's not that they're mad or they're stupid or whatever. It's just that's what you've always known, and therefore that is what you accept. But when you start asking people, what is it that Nigeria can offer you that, say, Yoruba nation can't offer you? There's nothing. Because, and you know, sometimes you think, well, Kilo, what is the matter with people that they can't reason? Because, for example, it is better for Nigerians to have 4, 5, 6 countries competing on the world stage than one country. Look at it. Barbados is 500,000. They have 500,000 population. They have exactly the same political clout as Nigeria. In the UN, for example, they have 1 vote. Nigeria has 1 vote. Now imagine if Nigeria had 4 countries. That's 4 votes. So even from the point of view, what is it the advantage of to us as Black people? If you look at it, Africa has 52 countries, right?
Yes, sir.
If you fit all the other continents fits into Africa, all the other, when you look at the map of the world, Africa looks small. That is image that they portray to us. But actually, when you look at the landmass and you take all the other continents and you stick it into Africa, it fits. That is, we are bigger than the whole lot. And yet we only have 52 countries. Africa can accommodate another 50 countries without any problems at all because of the size of Africa. But when you look at the map, it looks like it is the equivalent of, say, China. You know, China fits into Africa. So this is the problem, that when you ask, it's very difficult intellectually to understand anybody, I mean, you know, who insists that this country should remain as one, when in actual fact, for the benefit of Nigerians themselves, for the benefit of Nigeria, it is better if Nigeria broke up. For the benefit.
You know what, sir? You were saying something, so before I apologize again, okay?
No, please, it's a conversation.
You see something about the influence of coming together on a platform of an organization right? You were saying something about MPs in the UK and all that. I would love you to finish that before we take a break, sir.
Okay. Remember what I said about the Jews?
Yes, sir.
How they are powerful,
and
their power is political. They're organized. They get themselves. Even if just take Jeremy Corbyn makes a slight dig at the Jews, see what trouble he got into. See the trouble and he was investigated. They threw out Kilorko Mayor of London, Ken Livingstone. Remember, they threw him out of the Labour Party for being anti-Semitic.
That's true, sir.
How many times Arabi Timbua? How many times people insult you? How many times ni want to talk rubbish? Cameron was talking in the Buckingham Palace saying Nigerians are corrupt. We didn't do anything. Nobody said anything because we have no power. What Cameron said, he couldn't say that and the Jews will keep quiet. No, that is what power is. And we need to start, part of the things that I try to tell people is this. When you have large numbers, for example, if Ilana Ilana had 20,000 Yoruba in Ilana, just imagine what we can do with that number in this country.
Yeah, in the UK.
Just imagine if Ilana had, out of the 120,000 Yoruba, I'm sorry, but 20,000 members of Ilana. Imagine what power. Imagine what power that will give us in this country. We haven't left anywhere. This is the sort of thing that the Indians do. I don't know if you are going to a break. I can quickly tell you something.
Yeah, I'm going to go on a short break, a quick one. We usually don't, but because I'm enjoying this, and sometimes it's good to have a short break, sir. Okay. So when I come back, or let me say when we come back, sir, we are going to talk about what can we do to get the Yorubas in the UK to grab this opportunity where we can build a strong political platform here in the UK. Not that we are actually joining Politico, where have you, but I get the message, sir. I will be back in a minute or two.
Malamala, mo bojú ayé o ayé ṣamalamala. Mo máa bójú ọ̀run òkùnkùn ló ṣubúlẹ̀. Mo máa bójú ọ̀run òkùnkùn ló ṣubúlẹ̀. Mo ní ẹ̀ẹ́rẹ́ yìí o. Kí ni dé sí Yorùbá o ọmọ aráyé? Kí ni ṣẹlẹ̀ sí Yorùbá o ọmọ Oòduà o? Yeyeyeyeyeyeye àwa máa ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ là ń bẹ. Yorùbá ń ṣera wọn nítorí owó. Yorùbá ń jìra wọn lẹ́sẹ̀ nítorí ipò. Wọ́n gbẹ̀mí fáláre, wọ́n gbáre pẹ́lẹ́bí. Wọ́n kò lè kó wájà, wọ́n tún kó lóko wá mú. Ọgbọ́n tí wọ́n gbọ́n ló gbé wọn délé ọlá. Ọgbọ́n náà ló tún padà wá sí lé wọn mọ́lẹ̀ o. Àwọn tí wọ́n ti ń ṣọ̀gá lọ́jọ́ tó ti pẹ́. Tún padà wá dẹni à ń fọwọ́ ti sẹ́yìn o. Yóò Yorùbá yoyoyo bí iná alẹ́. Yorùbá rúrúrú bí omi òkun. Yorùbá bàbá ni bàbá ń ṣe. Yorùbá ronú o. Yorùbá sọra wọn di bọ́ọ̀lù fáráyé gbá. Wọ́n bá gbá wọn sókè, wọ́n tún gbá wọn sísàlẹ̀ o. Ẹ̀yà tí ó ti kéré tẹ́lẹ̀ ni wọ́n gé kúrú. Àwọn tí àìfẹ́jọ́ tún ti dẹni àtijọ́ Yorùbá jókòó sílẹ̀ rẹ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ wọn fọwọ́ lọ́wọ́. Bí àgùntàn tí abọ́ rẹ̀ ń gbòrìṣà ilẹ̀ o. Yorùbá ronú o. Oríkì máa burú títí kọ́ bógún ọdún lẹ́yìn òkùnkùn bèrèbèrè ìmọ́lẹ̀ yàtọ̀ o. Ẹ jẹ́ ká pọ̀ Olódùmarè ká pọ̀ Balùwàyé káyé wa lè dùn ní ìgbẹ̀yìn lálàyò ilẹ̀ mọ́ pé ìyá o. Ilẹ̀ dá
ilẹ̀ ọ̀gẹ́rẹ́ àfọkọ́yẹrí alákòókà ó tẹ̀rẹ̀rẹ̀ kábì ọ̀gbàràgàdà bí ẹni yèyé mi ọmọ darúpalẹ̀ àdúgbò òjòjì tí ka ìkàlẹ́nu mọ́.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. And you're welcome back. I'll
Thank
say,
you.
yeah. So, to my friends watching, at a point we're going to open the line, so you're going to ask questions. Okay. The effort is that the topic of this conversation tonight is that what can we do as Yorubas living in diaspora? What can we do to help our people back home in the face of all of this economic calamity, and including this the insecurity and the invasion that is now popular? So we're now talking about influencing from abroad, not just the money, sir. And you are telling us what Ilana Oodua could be a rallying point for all Yoruba sons and daughters in the UK. So I'm going to let you continue with that, because how are we going to make this happen as soon as possible? Starting from London. I mean, starting from the UK.
Starting from today.
Starting from today. I like that.
Yes.
So, what do you think?
I think the first thing, really, the first job of people like me is to really educate people in what it means to be Yoruba. One of the things that, and I'm not saying this because I'm Yoruba or Yoruba centric. One of the things that is fascinating about the Yoruba is really how our civilization was so advanced. I mean, I know we didn't have motor cars and we didn't have electricity and so on and so forth. But the civilization, if you take technology, you have to understand that there's a difference between technology and civilization. They're two different things. If you look at Yoruba civilization, it is one of the most fascinating things to really study. I mean, take, for example, the basis of the thinking behind medical practice. When you compare the Chinese, it's mumbo jumbo. It's about yin and yang. When you look at the Ayurvedic medicine of the Indians, it's also mumbo jumbo. Yoruba medicine is based on disease, just like modern medicine. We did not know the names of the kokoro, but we know that disease is caused by kokoro. We knew that smallpox was caused by something, by a factor. That's why we developed vaccination. The Yorubas developed smallpox vaccination. And it was a Yoruba slave that introduced it into the United States in 1776. A slave called Onismus. So one of our problems is that we really do not understand ourselves. We don't know ourselves. We don't know how good everything that is Yoruba is. We don't know how so far advanced we are. I was just looking for a piece of paper of what I was going to read out what Lugard said about us, but I can't. I don't know where. Oh yes, I found it now.
Great.
In 1937, I'm going to read this. I'm sorry, I have to.
Oh, you have all the time in the world, sir. Please go on.
It was written by somebody, not me. This is Lord Lugard Lokoileo in 1937. He said the Yorubas, who number over 3 million, and are amongst the most intelligent of African people. Lugard Lokoileo that the Yoruba are amongst the most intelligent of African people. He said they are keen traders traveling widely throughout West Africa and are unique in the extent of their urbanization. I will explain what urbanization is in a minute. the Yorubas have preserved their democratic institutions practically intact and have known what to select from foreign models. Two things take away from that. Number one is urbanization, and number two is democratic institutions. Do you understand that? That
I am following you, sir.
Òyìnbó tó wá sílẹ̀ wa, ó ní institutions wa, ó wà democratic. You just just sit back and think. We are Yoruba. When you talk about civilization, people think you are talking about motor cars. No. Civilization is more than that. Technology ní gbogbo the other thing here. But the civilization, that's what he said. Urbanization means forming cities. The Yorubas have been forming cities from time immemorial. And we were forming cities based on farming. Iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ la fi ń form cities. Iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀. Àwọn òyìnbó are forming cities with industrialization, but we were urbanizing with farming. That's how organized the Yorubas were. The second thing tó sọ ni pé democratic institutions. Gbogbo táwọn èèyàn máa ń sọ tá a bá sọ fún wa ní nǹkan Yorùbá, old fashion, ìgbà òun nìyẹn. Democratic institutions. So the way we governed ourselves, káwọn òyìnbó tó dé, they recognized that it was democratic. That is, the governance of the Yorubas were in the hands of the people themselves. It was not in the hand of anybody. I mean, I did a program the other day where I was explaining what I meant by constitutional Oba system. So we had institutions, civilizations, institutions. Although we didn't write, one of the fascinating things about the Yoruba is that although we did not have the art of writing, we embedded information in our words. So, for example, Baaseegun means something. Àwọn kan pè, òyìnbó á pè àwọn ní stone or tree or whatever. Every word, or every Yoruba word has a meaning. So we had this civilization that we have, really just ignored throughout. We just, so one of the things that we need to start doing is to try and explain who we are. We need to start appreciating who we are. And that's the thing, that's the difference between us and the Jews and even the Chinese. We need to start. People think that, pé ká kàn máa sọ Yorùbá nìkan, pé tá a bá ń sọ Yorùbá, ó ti tán, or tá a ń wọ aṣọ Yorùbá. No. We need to understand that we are unique people. Àwọn ẹ̀ máa sọ fún wa pé, I was writing a piece earlier, I think yesterday or earlier today, I can't remember, about the word Yoruba. Every nonsensical people will say, Fulani ló fún ẹ lórúkọ, Tamudi ló fún ẹ lórúkọ, Igba. These people, why would it's like saying somebody gave England or gave the English name. These people cannot conceptualize the fact that we as Yoruba, we are intelligent enough to name ourselves. We don't need anybody. I mean, in the tweet that I did there, I think there are 4 or 5 different guesses of where the Yoruba name come from. But what we know is that the word Yoruba existed by the 1500s, 1400s. The word Yoruba, that explorers have visited Yoruba land and have called us Yoruba. And the máa sọ fún wa pé àwọn Fúlàní dé ní 18 something.
1807.
Wọ́n á fún wa lórúkọ. When it has been recorded before, and one of the ones I was talking about was somebody was saying that we are a tribe of Canaanites. We belati rí orúkọ wa. So we migrated from whatever to come to Yoruba land. All nonsense. No evidence. Everybody thinks that because you are a black person, you don't have any, I mean, that's the problem. And we have bought into this nonsense. That's the point that I'm trying to make. Is that people are trying to tell us, you come from Nimrod, you come from Tamurudu, you come from the Yoruba people.
To the slave masters and the rest of them, I would say.
The Yoruba peoples have been Yoruba peoples and lived in Yoruba land from time immemorial. We didn't come from anywhere. We are indigenes of Yoruba land. We didn't come from anywhere. We Ibelolon Fiwasi. And this rubbish that people tell us.
Baaseegun. Thank you so much for that. You see, the other part of my question is about physical meetings. Like you said, that can happen and start today. You go for it. We have a.
I'm on TV. I'm on TV.
Sorry. So, yeah, I can excuse you, sir, if you need 2 minutes. I can take a quick break, okay?
Yeah, can you take a break?
Of course I can. I will continue just before we open our line, okay? I'll put this up, yeah. Sorry about that, guys. So my question then was going to be, now that we have a contact here in the UK, the role that we would likely play in what will happen in the coming weeks, months, and possibly years in and outside Nigeria, you know, we have a contact. And once we start making a physical contact, like is spoken so far, I've been so fascinated, I have to admit, okay? And I believe that we can rely and build around this platform for everyone who is a Yoruba man or Yoruba woman here in the UK. This is the contact point we have been talking about. We can build on it. We can meet physically. Yes, we can make a difference. And I'm so interested in this, I have to say. So what I'm going to do next is that we'll take another break. But my friends on YouTube or Facebook, you can use this moment to still share the video, because there's a point, I mean, at a point we're going to take calls and you can phone in and ask your own questions too. This is just like the opening. And then I will be back. Yoruba anthem. Let's use that for a minute. Thank you very much. So I am, well, we are still waiting for Baaseegun to join us, you know, still having his 5 minutes break. So when he's back in the studio, I would allow you, I mean, then we'll continue. But for now, so far, so good. If you're watching me from the UK and you want to possibly say something to add to this while we wait for, oh, he's back. Let me use more of my, the rest of my own time before I open the line, and it can answer your questions. This is what we want to see replicated here, not just in the UK, across Europe, Yorubas across Europe, across Asia, Canada, North America, United States, you know, Asia, including, you know, Middle East. Is that what the place is called? Dubai and all that. So we want to see this replicated, where Yorubas will begin to get, you know, to make a physical, you know, gathering where we can now discuss and impact in what's going on back in Nigeria. Some of what we're going to do are not for public discussion. They are really for general closed door discussion. You would likely to visit that. And I'm also going to try myself tonight to see if we can get a date out of Baaseegun. Sir, thank you so much for your time so far with us tonight. And it's been a great pleasure, I have to say. My other question then, before I open the line, because there are people who likely ask you one or two questions, who want to ask you a few questions right here in the UK. Okay. So I told you before we started, I want to use this first meeting for people to meet you, understand you. You have your planned ideas on how this is going to play out in the long run. But our efforts right here in the UK is to see if we can build enough, a strong platform that can always give a very strong backing to the activities of Ilana, Oodua, the umbrella body for Yoruba nation in Nigeria. So we'll still come back to your ideas and all that, okay? Which we may not really finish tonight. But talking about building our platform here in the UK, sir, do you have any plan of organizing a Yoruba, call it any name, seminar, summit, or anything anytime soon to bring this to physical contact in a big way, sir? Do you?
The short answer to that is yes. We in Ilana UK, we have two committees. We have a recruitment committee and we have an events committee. And one of the plans that the events committees are working on is we've been thinking, well, I mean, I can tell you, it's not a secret. We are trying to, for example, approach the Oxford Union as an example, to have a debate of some description. We have somebody who has access to Chatham House. Again, we're in the process of trying to see if we can get a symposium or something going. So these are the sort of things that the events committee are planning. I mean, we although we accept that rallies and demonstrations are important, but we think that there's much more. There's much more to getting political power than just demonstrating. And the reason is this, that we Yorubas are much more intelligent than people think, or than what we ourselves think. And as from my point of view, if you say you are intelligent, then you cannot do things, and I mean, the first part when we were talking earlier about what to do was the question of identity. Identity, because until you understand your identity, you wouldn't know why you want to leave Nigeria. And you want to leave Nigeria because, as I said earlier, the land is our God-given land. Yoruba land is Olorun lo fun wa. And it is also our legal right as well, which is recognized by the UN, by the African Union, by Nigerian law. In fact, as far back as 1983, in Nigeria, to pass law that self-determination is not illegal in Nigeria. As far back as 1983. So, the reason why I'm very keen on this question of identity is that it allows us to think that what we want independence for is so that we can do things the Yoruba way, without looking over our shoulders. As far as I'm concerned, we are not fighting. We don't hate anybody. We don't want to be in conflict with anybody. The fact of the matter is, this is why identity is important, that we say to ourselves, we want to do things the Yoruba way. And I usually refer people to the period between 1952 and 1959. In that short period, the Yorubas were the most advanced in development anywhere in the world. In that pretty short period, and the television, France, we had an Olympic stadium, Liberty Stadium, Ibadan, with Olympic Village, Athletes Village, which was the first of its kind. Not just the stadium, but also there was a village, and it is that stadium where I watched Dick Tiger beat Jim Fulmer. The same place where I watched James Brown play, same place where I watched Sheffield Wednesday play Western Academicals. That stadium. Now, imagine if the Yoruba nation was independent in 1959. We would be talking the same as South Korea, Lenny. We'll be talking the same as Singapore, Lenny. If from that trajectory, from 1952 to 1959, Taban Baloba then to today, we will be one of the most advanced nations on this planet. So when we are talking about advances, this is where our identity is important, that we ourselves know how good we are. When you know how good you are, then you know what you can achieve. That is why the question of identity is important. That is, we want to do things for ourselves. And that is what we all need to agree, that we need to do things for ourselves. Now, if you want me to look at what we can do, the first thing that I will say is this. There is no political solution in Nigeria. Anybody who thinks there's a political solution on a journey, Afenifere has said we want restructuring. Who is responding to them? Nobody.
No.
Ninas is saying we want a referendum. Who's responding to them? Nobody. The Nigerian government is not interested. So the political solution in Nigeria is zero. The next thing is military solution. That is not military solution is this. Anybody who thinks people are saying the Fulanis are very powerful militarily. The Afghan war took 3 years. Now, can you imagine if you then have the north facing the south, fighting on all fronts? The destruction that is going to happen everywhere. And when you start a civil war, you do not know how it's going to end. So anybody who's boasting, they've been having arms, the same Nigerian army they defeat Boko Haram. The same army they defeat Boko Haram. I want to overrun anywhere. What is happening in Yoruba land is happening because those who are supposed to lead us tolerate the nonsense. Let me tell you something. If our 6 main obas, Alaafin, Ooni, Alake, Owa, and so on, if they declared Yoruba nation today, we will have Yoruba nation. Who's going to say, who will have the temerity to say no? That's the problem, is that those who we call our leaders, are the ones that allow the nonsense to happen. I mean, between Lagos and Ibadan, how many police checkpoints, Lenny, and yet people are being kidnapped? If you go to the north, there's no checkpoint anywhere. It is because our so-called leaders tolerate it. Tinubu wants to be president of Nigeria, or Shibajo wants to be president of Nigeria. Ijo will not saw anything about the Fulani atrocities in Yoruba land. Nothing. These are the people who are supposed to be looking after us. They're supposed to be looking after the Yoruba people. Yet things are happening in Yoruba land. You don't hear anything from them. And they are saying I want to rule Nigeria here. And what I say about them is this, that these are wicked people. They're just wicked people. Because any human being, when you see another human being suffering, you provide succor. You feel for him. These people have no feelings at all. Anyway, so we have no political solution. We have no military solution. Okay, let's talk international. International bodies are not interested in our troubles because Black lives don't matter to anybody. And it is not just, this is why, I keep going back to the Jews. So you can't do it to the Jews. Black lives don't seem to matter to anybody. And the reason why it doesn't matter to the white world is because it doesn't matter to the Black world either. Let me give you an example.
Sir.
200 people were massacred in Nasarawa County. The president of Nigeria, Zamfara, the president of Nigeria said nothing. So why should the CNN carry the news? Why would the BBC carry the news? Imagine if that happened anywhere in Europe. Just imagine if that happened anywhere in Europe. Our own president, said absolutely nothing. So when people are saying that that is not the problem. These are wicked. These are subhumans. These are people who do not. These are people who do not believe in humanity, who have no human feelings, nothing. That's why they can just, people will just be killed, and it doesn't make any difference to them. And if it doesn't make any difference to them, how can it make any difference to international bodies? This is the problem we have in Africa, that we are killing each other. We don't respect each other's lives. I'm not talking about politics now, or I'm not talking about tribal or whatever, that people are being killed, even your own people are being killed, and you have nothing to say. And then you expect the international people to say something. Say what? You don't care. Why should they care? So the international option is gone. So the only option we have is to go to the courts. That's the only option that is left. We don't have a political option. We don't have a military option. The international arena is closed. So the only avenue that is left to us is to go to court. And the advantage of going to court is this, that for the first time, it allows the Nigerian side to say something, to tell us why they behave the way they behave. The court is the only opportunity. I mean, look at Igboho goes to court. What did the federal government do? They didn't turn up because they are intellectually bereft. They went there and they are talking about jurisdiction. I mean, I don't know if most people know what jurisdiction is, but the judge had no power to hear the case. And that is all they say everywhere. Kanu has just won the case also in Umua here. Whatever.
Yeah, they can't even win in their own court. You are right. Because,
I mean, can you imagine Malami is the Attorney General of Nigeria? An illiterate. An illiterate. So what is open to us is really to go to court. So press conference. It's not going to get anywhere. But when you go to court, they have to turn up.
You see, our listeners, sir, our listeners will be wondering why you keep repeating courts and courts. Okay. I would have loved to dig into that based on what we shared, but we won't do that. Because that's like us now trying to tell them, yeah, this is what we're going to do. Let's come back to what we need people to come together. You've done so well, sir. letting our people know the value of this whole struggle, conversation around why should Yoruba still be part of Nigeria or not, the role of individuals, wherever you find yourself all over the world, your role as a Yoruba man, what to do, is exactly why we're having this chat. In the UK, I told people, I said, I'm looking forward to a day. Sorry, is that an audio or what have you done, sir? Sorry.
Yes, it's an audio. It's an audio.
Please, sir, help me tell them to turn that off if possible.
Yes. Okay, just give me a minute,
please.
I don't want anyone that.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Okay, it seems that it's late. We need to know that it's late, and this conversation probably is happening in Baba's room. Okay, so we're going to respect that for the few sec. Okay, so my next question, which is going to be my last question before I open the line, is about if we can force or get a date out of Baaseegun tonight. I want to see people physically. I want Yorubas to sit together and people of different backgrounds as Yorubas sitting together to share their own views, ideas on how can we make a difference. It's about making difference now. All right. It's beyond social media, we say. So Baaseegun, sir, is back. Hello, sir.
Yeah. What I was going to say, the reason why
you see me, I'm sitting in my room for this studio, sir, right? So I can imagine if the room is going to be, needed anytime soon. I'm just going to apologize to everyone around you tonight. We'll be quick. So, sir, my own question is about how do we start and support the Ilana in the UK? You said something about when you joined Ilana, you paid a £5 as a member. So, does it take what do you call it, £5 to join Ilana in the UK? One.
Oh yes.
Secondly, must you be a member of Ilana Oodua before you attend Ilana Oodua organized Yoruba summit in the UK?
No.
And when can we be part of any next summit as soon as possible? If you can merge all this together in one, I'm going to open the line after this, sir.
Okay. I wanted to talk. The reason why I wanted to talk about the court case or the court cases, is because these are very important and lawyers.
I know, but it's just like us saying, I know you have your program already going, right? So going deeper into how we're going to fight a legal battle and the rest of that will take us another time.
No. I'm not going to explaining the thing. What I wanted to bring out was that lawyers cost money, and part of this fight is that we need to support this fight with money. Don't let's deceive ourselves. You cannot have self-determination with no money.
That's true. I was coming to that. I was actually, sir, let me put it this way. Maybe I should put it this way so that we don't jump the guns, okay? We need people together to understand the cause, believe in it, be part of it, right? Before they can now be committed to it. So this is the first time of talking to my friends. They haven't heard from you before. Maybe some have heard from you in another platform. The reason why we're having this chat is that this is Baaseegun. This is the contact of Ilana Oodua in the UK. How and what would it take us to be part of this? When it now comes to how the whole fight is going to go, which you have already been on, right? Of course, we're going to get to that. When we have our members, when we have our people who understand why we even need the lawyers in this place.
Sorry to jump the gun. Sorry to jump the gun.
I mean, go on, sir.
What I will hope is that people will join us. I mean, one of the ways of finding out about Ilana UK is to go to our website, ilanauk.org.org. Okay, that tells you a lot more than what I can say on a program. If you want to know what we're about, just go and look at the website. Just have a visit and see what we're about. And that tells you a lot about our thinking, our philosophy, our mission, and so on and so forth. The program of events will come soon. You have to remember that my involvement or the new Ilana UK is only 2 months old.
I know.
We're only 2 months old. So all our programs are now being formalized,
Great.
being costed, being, everything. We have a think tank. I mean, a committee that's churning out ideas on where we're going and so on and so forth.
Okay.
And I didn't want to preempt by saying things to you, which is really unfair on the committee, because it means whatever it is I say, they've got to,
we're going to take you for your word, sir. I know.
Exactly.
No, if you have to make a contact on that, I mean, that's beautiful. Okay. So we can leave the part. Yeah, we can leave the part of what should we expect another. Okay. But when you talk about registering, I want to take that again. It's so important. Okay. This is us now mobilizing before we have any physical. You are already doing it. And you mentioned your website, sir. Website where I can go on there right now and register to be a member of Ilana Oodua. Is that yes?
Exactly. And it will cost you a fiver.
£5 if you are registering from the UK, right?
Yes. Now, when we decided that it was going to be such a small amount of money,
right?
Everybody was saying, and so on and so forth. And I said to them, imagine if 20,000 people joined. Times 5. Imagine if 40,000 people joined. Times 5. So the idea that the money is small is, it is small if your number is small. But if your number is large, you don't need each individual to then sweat. You only need a small contribution from each individual if you have a large number.
Amazing.
And the reason why you need a large number actually is because you are trying to re-educate people. Remember what I said about, I know I keep going back to this question of identity. That question to me is a very, very important one, identity. That once we start thinking Yoruba all the time, it will be easy for us to be mobilized. It will be easy for us to join groups to help doing things, because your brain is Yoruba brain. That's why it's the question of identity is important. But as I said, if you are paying a small amount of money and there are many of you, you accumulate a lot of funds. So again, our website is ilanauk.org. You can join. It's easy to join. It will cost you £5.
And then when we talk about the £5, just a quick one before I open the line, because I have people on the line now trying to call in. They want to talk to you. So what we'll do is that we'll let them ask the questions within a minute. Then we take, first 2-3 calls. Then you answer their questions all at once. We take another one.
That's fine. That's fine.
So the £5, is that going to be the membership fee every month or a one-time pay?
No, it's every month.
A membership fee. I like that.
So it's £60 a year. Again, multiply 60 by 20,000. That's a lot of money.
It is in a year, and that can do a lot.
Exactly.
In educating, in living battle, in every move around the world.
Exactly.
I love that, sir. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to open the line. We're going to take another break. In case if you want to take a tea break, sir, you can go for it. Okay, 2 minutes.
I'll just have a glass of orange or something.
Oh, did you? Okay. I will get my own cup refill, sir, for another 2-3 minutes. And when I get back, we'll begin to take calls. And I won't take all your night. Don't worry.
That's fine. That's fine.
So, sir, I will be back in a minute or two. Ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, guys. Sorry, I'm here, sir. Don't worry. I haven't disappeared. So, yeah, I got a call there, but we lost the call while we were waiting. While we're listening to that. Welcome back, sir. So we will take a few calls, just maybe just 2-3 calls, because we started late. However, I have one caller now. Hello.
Hello, Maiyegun.
Hello, ma.
Hello, good evening, my dear. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, ma. How are you, ma?
I'm very well. Thank you for all what you are doing.
Thank you. So we have Baaseegun, Alabe on the line right now. So over to you, ma.
Good evening, sir, Mr. Alabe.
Hello.
Ekale, sir. Inshallah, fi alewa, sir.
Adúpẹ́ lọ́lọ́run.
Ekale, sir.
Hello.
The way it is in Yoruba land, you need to say, I was listening to a conversation with Baba Ayuadi Banjo.
Emma Soroloma, won't boy, won't boy, everything.
So, Baba Wani wípé the only way forward for us in Yoruba land now is káwọn èèyàn má dìbò nípa constitution. Wọ́n nítorí wípé tí àwọn èèyàn bá dìbò, the constitution will still remain the same. We are still going to go back. Nǹkan tí Buhari ṣe fún wa náà náà tún máa ṣe fún wa lọ. So, with all what you have explained to us tonight, with this constitution, what is the way forward?
Thank you, ma. So, do you want to give us your name, ma, in case if whenever he wants to respond, he can just remember that it was your question. Do you want to, ma? Your name?
Mrs. Adejare.
Mrs. Adejare. Thank you so much, ma. I will take another call, and Baaseegun will answer everyone at once, okay? Thank you, ma. So that's Mrs. Adejare, sir. So I'm going to take another one, sir. Okay? You heard that question. It's about constitution.
I've got my pen.
Great, sir. So, hello.
Hello. Hello, Maiyegun.
Hello, my brother, sir. Who is on the line, by the way?
Aji Hafiz, Atlanta, Georgia.
Aji Hafiz from Atlanta, Georgia. So you have a question or a contribution, sir? Baaseegun is listening.
I have a question for Baba.
He's listening. Please, fire.
Thank you, Maiyegun.
Yes, sir.
Baba, kudede àsìkò yìí, sir.
Hello.
Ekale, sir. Èmi agun ara le o.
Àmín.
Kò àjẹpẹ́. Ẹ dákun bàbá. Pẹ̀lú àwọn bàbá tó jẹ́ àwọn aláṣẹ fún bí àwọn bàtà ní nísẹ̀yìn tí wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ tí wọ́n ṣe nǹkan kan báyìí. Kí ni ìgbésẹ̀ tí ẹ̀ ń gbé láti lè kí ọwọ́ wọn bọ nǹkan tá à ń ṣe nítorí tí wọn ò bá kí ọwọ́ bọ̀ náà àti lọ síwájú ṣé ẹ wò pé bí a fẹ́ gbómi díẹ̀. And ìkejì ń bẹ ni pé ẹni àfi ká gbé Nàìjíríà gan lọ sí court la máa lè rí ọ̀nà àti ọ̀nà àbáyọ báàlà yìí fẹ́ mú wọn débẹ̀ tí Nàìjíríà fi respond. Ẹ mọ̀ pé bọ́yìn ṣe Nàìjíríà ń kọ̀ báyìí tí wọ́n ti kó àwọn làwọn ní wọn they don't answer. Àwọn lọ́ máa pè yín pé ṣe nǹkan fáwọn àwọn náà lọ fẹ́ dájọ́ àwọn náà lọ fẹ́ àwọn ní prosecutor àwọn ní defence àwọn ní judge. Yé kan tí ń sọ yé sà. Kí ni ọ̀nà àbáyọ sí àwọn nǹkan rẹ̀ kí má gbà wọn lásìkò sà.
Thank you so much, Aji Hafiz.
God bless you.
And you too, sir. I like that. So I'm going to take another one. I like the way people are quickly dropping their questions. It makes it easier, sir. So I have another caller. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Good evening, Maiyegun.
Good evening to you, my brother. Your name?
It's actually morning. It's actually morning.
Is that Paul?
This is Paul.
Great.
But I'd rather use my Yoruba name
today. Okay, use it.
Yes. This is Olufemi from India.
Olufemi. Baaseegun is listening. Fire. So is your question or suggestion?
Comments and I have a question.
Please,
okay.
Fire.
Ekaro, sir.
I can't allow.
Yeah, it's 3 a.m. la wan be by, so
I know.
So I roll la wan be by to
Okay, where the argument was say koja nimbi.
Time difference and on. First of all, I actually want to celebrate that the Super Eagles crashed out of the AFCON today, or rather this morning, because sport has been a major distraction. And if we look at the history of Nigeria, sports development actually started from the old Western region under the premier Awolowo. Sport started from the Western, it developed from the old, and I'm happy that Daddy has spoken about the Olympic Stadium in Ibadan and the sports village. It shows that the Yoruba people have been advanced in every sphere, whether it is medicine, whether it is sports, just name it. I'm so proud that I'm Yoruba.
Amazing.
I'm not speaking Yoruba. I'm not being Yoruba. I want to include our Biafran brothers and our other brothers so that everyone can understand what I'm saying.
Thank you,
Yoruba. I would have to stay on one side. So I just want everyone to understand what I'm saying. That's why I'm using English. Then another point I wanted to make, but that in store when he was speaking about the kings. You see, one of the reasons why we're having this difficulty in the progression of I'll call it our human rights is we don't have kings anymore. We have political kings. The more than 90% of the kings in Yoruba land are political appointees. Kò sọ́ba mọ́, kò sí ọba mọ́. Títí dé Aláàfin, títí dé Àwùjalẹ̀, títí dé Ọ̀ọ̀ni. They are not kings. They are all political appointees. That is why you can see that they don't have kò sí agbára mọ́, kò sí nǹkan kan tó lè ṣe mọ́. And that is a very serious problem for us. Because like Daddy said, you just imagine all those kings just declaring Yoruba nation. If truly they were for the people.
If they have the power, yeah.
Tani governor not, tani politician not to fẹ́ gbóhùn sókè tí ọba ti sọ̀rọ̀. So, but my question is this for Daddy. I don't know. The strength in the UK for Ilana Oodua is strong, but I don't know if we will be having, like here in India now, we have chapters. They call themselves there are about 2 factions. I think I've explained this to Maiyegun before, because there was a problem here. They had to split into 2 factions. I don't know if there is a kind of world outreach for Ilana Oodua where the tentacles can actually reach any part of the world, whether we are in Asia, whether we are in the UK, in Europe, there, or whether. Yes, we need very huge tentacles. Báwo la ṣe lè ṣe tó jẹ́ pé ó máa dé everywhere. Tó jẹ́ pé mo lè bá I can connect with someone who is Yoruba in the US from India here, or wherever. Because most of what Daddy has been speaking about has been kind of centralized on the UK. How can we spread it? That's my question. Thank you, Maiyegun.
God bless you, Paul. So I'm going to let him answer just the first 3. So, Paul, thank you so much. Or, in fact, let me see if I can take one more, sir. It seems that you can round all of them together at once and just leave, okay? Let's take this, a quick one. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Maiyegun.
Hello, sir.
This is, Maiyegun, this is Wale Adeyeye from the US as well. I've listened to.
Go on, please. Yeah, he can hear you. Go on.
Yeah, my question is: we've heard about Ilana Oodua in the UK. Is it that Ilana Oodua does not exist in other parts of the country? Of the world apart from the UK? Because we have not heard anything concerning the US, the Canada, and all that. Then, if you want to register, must you go through the UK before you register or what?
Okay. He will answer that. But I believe that, well, let let him answer that. I won't answer for him. Thank you so much. Okay. So would they need to register through the UK instead of registering from their own country of residence? Sir, I'll let you take those questions before I start taking another question.
I will answer Wale Adeyeye first.
Please, sir.
The short answer is you do not have to register through Ilana UK. Ilana is in every continent, every country on this planet. In fact, we have Ilana in Cambodia. One of the committees that I chair, Ilana, somebody who's a member of Ilana in Japan is part of that that committee. So there's Ilana branch everywhere. What you can, for example, there's Ilana US. So if you go again, I think their website is Ilana Oodua international.org. But you'll have to check. So if you anywhere you live on this planet, all you have to do is put in ilanaomoodua.org and something will come up. So Ilana UK is not the only Ilana. Ilana UK is just a chapter. We have different chapters. We have chapters in Norway, chapters in Abu Dhabi, chapters in the US, chapters in Canada, chapters in India, everywhere. So if you want to join Ilana anywhere in the world, you can join. Just go into Ilana Omoodua international.org. I hope I've answered that question.
Absolutely. If you are, I mean, Wale will let us know if he's satisfied with that. And in addition, just to make it make sense, okay, if you are watching me right now and you know that you have been doing greatly in promoting the Ilana Omoodua work in your own country of residence, I know that there's Ilana Omoodua in Ireland, Republic of Ireland. Okay, they've called on to this program before, and even though we are just having this UK part because we want to make it a model, something that all of you can also come out. I can feature you, I can bring you on here. People want to know you and how they can be part of this. So I love that question and I love your answer, sir. Let's go to the next one. We have another thing.
It's the same answer for Paul as well, who was asking how do you spread Ilana. Again, all you have to do, I mean, you can contact me personally and I can assist you in how to sort things out. I mean, for example, when I started 2 months ago, I depended on help from Ilana USA and Ilana Canada. They were very, very helpful to us to assist us to set up. Even till now, when they have their executive meetings, they invite me to listen in, to join their executive meeting. And that's what we do. The various Ilana chapters, we are like friends. I mean, I've got somebody from Norway, somebody from Abu Dhabi, who I invite to join our meeting so that they can hear what we are saying. They can see what we are thinking. So there is Ilana everywhere. All you have to do is just go to Ilana Omoodua international.org and Ilana Omoodua worldwide.com .org again.
Great.
So that's Paul. Now, Aji Afiz. I don't know if I got the name correctly.
You do, sir. Yeah, Aji Afiz.
Okay. He was talking about how to get our Oba involved. What has happened at Ilana is this, that Professor Akintoye Dialano is writing a letter to all the Obas. And what he is writing to them about is this, that the loyalty of the Oba is to the Yoruba people. It's not to Nigeria. The loyalty of the Oba, the responsibility of the Oba is to the Yoruba people, not to Nigeria. I hope you understand that. So that letter is I don't know whether it's already gone out, but there's a letter going to the Obas to remind them of their I mean, I wouldn't say oath of, but actually it is oath of office. I mean, you know, when you take on the mantle of being an Oba in Yoruba land, your responsibility is to the Yoruba people, not to Nigeria. Now, I've deliberately left Mrs. Adejare's question to the last because I think I need to explain the basis of the court action that we are taking. It is correct that if you voted for these elections coming, you are trying to really authenticate a constitution that is fraudulent. Ilana is going to court in first, you know, I think it's in Ekiti, because Ekiti's election is in the gubernatorial election is in June, and the one in Osun is in July. So we are going to court in Ado Ekiti and in Osun. And the basis of going to court is this: that you cannot hold a legal election under an illegal constitution. That the Nigerian constitution is not admissible. And our reasoning is slightly different from, for example, what you hear from Ninas. What they say is that, well, it is fraud because the first part says we the people. That actually is not legally sound. And I can say that because, as I said, although I'm not a lawyer, I do have qualification in law. And I've sat for years listening to lawyers. Now, there are two reasons why the 1999 Constitution is invalid. And I hope, Maiyegun, that your audience will listen carefully to this.
They are listening. Okay. Just like me, myself too, please, sir.
Okay. The first reason is that the Constitution was imposed by the army, by Abdul Salami.
That's right.
That Constitution has never been ratified by Nigerians.
No.
Do you understand that? The military has produced a constitution which they gave a country, but the country has never ratified it. And the importance of that is that it is against the African Charter. That is the charter that Nigeria signed up to. So when we say that, when we at Ilana say that the Constitution is illegal, we are basing our thing on law, not on sentiments or with the people. Ours is based on law, and the law is simple. When you have a constitution, the African Charter requires that it be ratified by referendum. It's there. Nigeria signed this same treaty. This is not this is a treaty that Nigeria signed, where it is in black and white what should happen with constitutions. So that's the first ground on which we say the Constitution is illegal. The second ground is this: that the Arewa group of states, the 12 Arewa states, declared Sharia criminal law and established Hisbah police to police that law, to enforce that law. That means the Arewa group of states have determined how they wish to be governed, different from the rest of Nigeria. That is what is called self-determination. Do you understand that?
I'm with you, sir.
They decided that their religion is superior to the Constitution of Nigeria. That's what they've decided. That means they do not accept the sovereignty of the Constitution of Nigeria. They do not accept the sovereignty of Nigeria itself. And therefore, that makes the Nigerian Constitution obsolete. Because 12 states have declared their own self-determination. This is one of the fascinating, or one of the sad things about Nigeria is how we have lawyers, politicians who daily talk about law and order, about constitution, who actually do not understand the constitution at all themselves. They do not think beyond their little, what I call people whose horizon does not go beyond their big toe. And that's the problem. That once these 12 states decided that they are going to do things differently from everybody else, they've already seceded. They've left Nigeria. And Nigeria has no constitution. So those are the two bases that we are going to court, that Nigeria's constitution is, Nigeria has no constitution as of today. We don't have a constitution. And therefore, if you don't have a constitution, you cannot vote under a constitution that does not exist.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir. There's a practicability part, sir. But because of our time, let me take a few more calls, and probably we'll have some new questions. And like you did with some of the questions you got earlier, sir, right? If they sound similar, you can answer them together.
Yeah,
like
that's fine.
And I'm glad that you are writing them down. I love it.
That's fine.
So I have a caller. Hello.
Hey, Maiyegun.
Sir.
Thank God I made it.
I can see you smiling, right? It'd be like seeing a big fish.
Honestly.
Yeah, I caught a big fish.
Baba Àgbàlagbà.
Comrade, calm down. Let's do it normally. Who am I talking to? Baaseegun can know who we are talking to.
JJ from somewhere in London.
So JJ, you are live. Baaseegun is listening.
Yes, Baaseegun. I have just one question and two suggestions.
Okay.
My suggestion is, we have every grammar have been said about the Jews, how they are united and strong. It's time for us, Yoruba, to have the same thing. And it does not matter who wants to support or who does not want. Those of us that are ready are ready. Let's do that. That's my suggestion. I'm ready. And the area where I want to concentrate is the security, intelligence gathering. That's the number one. Then my question now, sir, I've heard how we're going to go to the court and all those things. How can we support Ilana, either financially or if it's manpower? It's not everybody that like to show his face for some reasons. But some of us, I believe there's a lot of people who are listening this night now.
That's right.
Who are desire more than some of us that can pick up the phone. But because of all this little argument, or because I call it argument, it's all part of development. Yes. So how can Ilana put behind all those little things and still come out bright to show us, we the Yoruba, the most intelligent person on earth, that we are ready for this and we must do it. Let me keep it straight. So, sir, because a lot of people are listening. So thank you, sir. Yeah.
I know this is not our time when me and you will be throwing our banters. I love the way you put it, okay? It is a big thing, yes, and I'm as happy as you are, JJ, because here now, maybe you and I will have to jam. JJ is our CIA on Maiyegun's Diary Politico. Now I'm going to meet the top CIA.
By the grace of God, I'm ready for it, and I'm waiting. It's time, brother.
God bless you.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks.
Baaseegun will answer after this. JJ wants to know how they can help Ilana Oodua and how this can happen as soon as possible. I have another caller. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon and good evening, Maiyegun. I'm so happy to get you tonight.
I am happy to have you, ma.
I really want to talk to our daddy J. I'm so elated.
Fantastic.
Your name is Please, question tí mo fẹ́ béèrè ni pé, daddy wa ń sọ nípa court. You know, my heart just kept leaping. Ó kàn leap pé court wo? Kóòtù yìí wọn ò ní respect ẹ̀. So and my own question now is, ṣé there is a way we can go to the international court láti ṣàlàyé fún wọn pé ẹ gbà wá o. Self-determination wà nínú constitution, ó wà nínú African Chapter or wherever tó ní African Chapter wọn. Ẹ gbà wá, kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ báyìí? Kó yé pa wá, because now ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ti le gan báyìí. Ọwọ́ tó lè gba Nàìjíríà, tó lè gba Yorùbá lọ́wọ́ ìdè yìí ni ọwọ́ tó ju ọwọ́ lọ. Ọwọ́ tó dẹ̀ ju ọwọ́ yẹn lọ ni pé àṣẹ láti wá láti international world, bóyá we like it or not. Àwọn people iná ló lè gbà wá lóbẹ̀. So ọ̀nà wo la máa gbé gbà? Tó kọ́ọ̀tù ti Nàìjíríà yé ní orí sí o. Òótọ́ ni mo sọ fún yín o. Wọ́n ò ní dáhùn. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ọ̀nà yẹn ni mò ń wò pé bàbá wa máa bá wa là sílẹ̀. Báwo la ṣe lè gbé sí bóyá United mo mọ̀ kó ti kọ so many letters. Èmi gan kọ letters ní United Nations, ẹ̀ shit ní gbogbo wọn yẹn. Ọ̀nà wo la máa gbé gbà lọ sí kóòtù international court pé ẹ gbà wá o? Ọ̀nà ni ẹni mo fẹ́ kí bàbá wa tún bá wa là sílẹ̀ ìjọ.
Kọ́ bá wa tọ́ bẹ́tà, yá. Ṣé ẹ fẹ́ ṣe orúkọ fún wa lálẹ́ yìí? Ṣé máa jẹ́ ká mẹ́ni tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ in case tó bá fẹ́ dáhùn?
Olatoun from Canada ni.
Olatoun, ma'am. I was waiting for you to say it because I don't know if you wanted to or not. I love that, and I miss you, man. Anyway, so let's hear from let's hear from Baaseegun. We have two calls. Do you want to answer that now, sir?
Yes. Thank you very much indeed. The first question, JJ, and basically what JJ asked was, how can people support Ilana financially about manpower?
Yes.
As I said earlier, all you have to do is to go to ilanauk.org, and you join and you pay £5. And again, I will repeat myself. I may have repeated it 10, 20 times already, but I'll do it again. Is that £5 times 20,000 is a lot of money. What we need, that's the manpower. We need people to join us. And let me tell you something. So, if I knocked on the door of number 10 Downing Street and I say there are 20,000 Yoruba behind me, it is different from where Maiyegun General. It's a different. The politicians in the West, whether in the UK or in America, only understand numbers.
That's right.
They only understand numbers. If I write a letter to Boris Johnson today and I say that I am leading 20,000 Yoruba people, he will respond. He will respond because the only thing they understand is numbers, because it is the numbers that threaten them. Anything else will threaten our people. So the way to support Ilana is fairly simple, fairly straightforward. Just visit our website, ilanauk.org. Thank you, Maiyegun, for showing it.
I mean, I thought I should while you were talking, so people might want to go on their phones and say, "Where should I go to?" I have a membership. How to become a member is there. Exactly. How to donate. That's the part who really wanted to know. How can we support?
Exactly.
So they have it on the screen. But continue, sir. Me, I will be playing about it. Sorry if distracting you. Sorry.
So JJ, please. JJ, please go onto ilanauk.org and join us. And then we have a platform where you can give us ideas, tell us what you want us to do, and so on and so forth. The Ilana UK, we are very open. We are very open to ideas, to thoughts, to everything, because this fight is for all of us. Because at the end of the day, we all want to go home. So it is our fight. It's not just my fight. It's not just Maiyegun's fight. It is all our collective fight, and that is why we need to join an organization. Join Ilana UK. Give us the numbers, and we will surprise you. You give me the numbers, and I will surprise you.
I love that. Now to the second question about the court again. So
yes.
something to that.
There is one of the things that the Nigerian government does is to bully you into thinking that going to court is useless. That going to court doesn't mean anything. What happens is this. Let me just talk strictly about the case we are bringing at Oshogbo and Ado-Ekiti.
Yes, sir.
That case is very tricky for Nigeria. I was explaining it on another platform yesterday. It's very tricky because the case is asking the court to stop the election, to say the election is null and void, cannot hold under a constitution that is illegal. Nigeria has to come and say the opposite. Now, if they don't turn up, or they do the usual thing that, oh, well, this is jurisdiction, and the court finds in our favor, then the election is null and void.
Until they appeal. They will eventually have to come and give reasons for why the court should
have to. Exactly. If they decide that they are going to get the court to postpone, to keep adjourning the case like they are doing for Kanu, this is a different kettle of fish. You are trying to hold the election in June and July. If the case is adjourned, you cannot hold the election. That's why I said this is tricky, because if you are allowed to hold the election and then the court declares the election null and void, you will have wasted people's time.
That's right.
So asking to postpone the case is pointless. So the Nigerian government bullying the judges into having adjournment is totally pointless. Then the other thing is that suppose they win. Win what? What are they going to win? How are they going to say that the Nigerian constitution is legal? Are they going to say that what the Arewa people did is correct? Are they going to say that the Nigerian constitution has been validated by the people? So, as I was explaining, this is a very tricky case. This is tricky. This is tricky because this case could actually disintegrate Nigeria completely. This is how tricky this case is. And I'm not saying that because it comes from Ilana and because I chair the committee that is dealing with this. This is a very, very tricky case. And at the end of the day, if the court rules in our favor, election, the people will rise up and say no. This is not the case that we are going to win in court. The court says there's no election. They will say we are going ahead with election anyway. What I try to remind people, people who are old enough to be alive in the 60s, after they rigged the Western Region election, might remember what was called Wetie. That was spontaneous. It wasn't organized by anybody. The people rejected that election. This particular election is very, very tricky for Nigeria. So the idea that they can just bluster as they normally do is not going to work. And the idea that they are not going to come to court to explain why the election should take place is not going to work either. So this is a very, very tricky, very, very tricky case. And it would be nice, again, if we get a lot of support from our people here, we can then say, we support this case that is going on in Nigeria. And that is enough for us, whatever the outcome is, to be able to bring it back to the UK to show it to the British government.
Because I remember you told me that there's also another plan that is also going to even involve the British government themselves in the misadventure colonialist misadventure in Nigeria, especially in Yoruba land.
Exactly.
We'll come to that some other time.
Exactly. So the one thing that Lady Olato, I don't know why I put Lady Olato. She didn't say she was
from Canada.
Anyway, was the question of international court.
Oh, that's true. Please.
Yeah. Oh, I write things down, so I know. I'm writing it down. Now, this is a case where international court might not be useful. However, if a voter in Nigeria, an elector in Nigeria, can take this case to ECOWAS court, the voter can say in the ECOWAS court that the election interferes with my fundamental human right. It is my right to have an election under a proper legal constitution. Nigeria is asking me to vote when the constitution is illegal. So you can argue that affects your fundamental human right. But the ECOWAS court is for individuals. The ECOWAS court is not for Ilana or whatever. So it is possible for individuals and the reason why we have decided to start with the gubernatorial elections is that why will you allow that election to take place and then be arguing about 2023? You got to fight every election that is going. You can't just say we will leave this election or play gubernatorial and you Amaja 2023. You got to fight it now every single election. So, Lady Olato, so the answer to your question is that it is possible to take this case to the ECOWAS court, which sits in Abuja. And again, as I said, it is also tricky for Nigeria. And let me tell you, Nigeria, the Twitter ban that was lifted was not lifted because of the goodness of their heart. It was lifted because they lost at the ECOWAS court.
I remember that.
When the ECOWAS court declared that it was illegal for Nigeria to ban Twitter, that is why they lifted the ban.
They just had to give one. They just had to give one flimsy reason.
Exactly. There was no, because it has been declared illegal. There's nothing else they could do but to lift the ban. They thought nothing. The ECOWAS court said it was illegal, and that was it. And if the ECOWAS court declared that something is illegal, you have to implement it. And Nigeria is not like all these other countries where the court will make a decision, and then as momentous as this, that the courts, court was okay, come and dibo. I want to it's not good. This is a very, very tricky case for Nigeria.
Thank you, sir. So because of our time, sir, I am going to just take one or two more calls. Okay. So you have been so great tonight, sir. Honestly speaking, I never ever thought that we will be able to do this tonight. So two things will happen. The first one is I'll take just two calls now. If they ask questions or suggestions, then you answer them afterward, and you give us your closing remark, and we'll close the talk tonight. But now that we know that we can talk, me and you, sir, have a lot. So, and I hope you have enough energy to take the whole trip with us, because we are going to use a lot of you, sir, to make this happen. So let me take a few calls, starting with this first one. Hello.
Hello, Maiyegun.
Hello, ma. Very sorry that it took so long. Good evening, ma.
Yeah, Belgium.
That's Belgium. Chef because of Baaseegun. Bola láti Belgium. Fire on, ma.
So, nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní pé a dúpẹ́ tí bàbá tiẹ̀ yọjú torí wọ́n fi yé wa pé lánàá wọ́n sọ pé Oodua Ipe ó pẹ̀lú àwọn arẹwà náà wá ní ìpolongo ní Ìbàdàn. Àwọn arẹwà ìpolongo ń bìnà tán ní arẹwà pẹ̀lú kìnnì kan pẹ̀lú ìlànà Oòduà náà pẹ̀lú táwọn wá ń ṣe kàmpéènì fún Tinubu. So I was so surprised nígbà tí mo wá rí bàbá nísìn. So mo ti ń pè é nísìn more than 1 year. Mo tẹ̀ dúpẹ́ pé o tẹ̀ wá gbé fóònù mi lẹ́yìn.
Inú tèmi gan dùn.
So bẹ́ẹ̀ lè ní ti ń pè é. But nísìn ìgbà tó ti sọ pé a máa register through internet, I will do it. Ṣé kò yẹ?
Oye mi ma. Ṣẹ́rí ti registering lórí internet yẹn ma. Sorry ma. Ti registering lórí internet yẹn ma. Fáwọn tó ń gbé ní UK.
Máa pè é, ẹ má wọrí. Máa pè é later.
So ṣe fẹ́ bèrè question yìí lọ́wọ́ wọn sìn because ẹ sọ kọ́kọ́ nípa àwọn Ìbàdàn lára Ìbàdàn pé ìlànà pẹ̀lú àwọn tó ṣe rally fún Tinubu I believe nìbàdàn àbí. Ẹ mọ̀ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ mà ẹ mọ̀ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ìlànà Oòduà pẹ̀lú àwọn tó ṣe rally nìbàdàn lánàá èmi ni mo play video rally Ìbàdàn àwọn arẹwà tí wọ́n ń gbé ní
mo mọ̀ pé àwọn arẹwà ló play náà ṣe rally yẹn but wọ́n sọ nínú ọ̀rọ̀ wọn pé Oòduà wà ń bẹ̀ ìlànà Oòduà wà ń bẹ̀ kíní kan wà ń bẹ̀ ṣé mo gbogbo mo wá ń wò báyìí pé irú kí ni gbogbo lè wọ́n dẹ̀ mention Tinubu wọ́n dẹ̀ mention Tinubu ìyẹn mo á ṣe sọ pé ó ṣe jẹ́ bàbá olójú ọ̀gbọ̀dọ̀ yìí náà tún dárúkọ pé ó pẹ̀lú.
láíláí àwọn
ìyẹn lọ́pàá bíi mo ti sọ ẹ ṣáà send nọ́mbà wọn sí mi àbí kí n pè wọ́n náà lórí WhatsApp ètò ẹ̀ bá fẹ́.
Màá fún yín ní nọ́mbà wọn mà. I'll make sure you get it. Ṣé ti gbọ́?
Okay, torí ó ń fọ́ mi lórí àwọn ará abẹ́jọ́ ó ń fọ́ mi lórí burúkú pé kí ni gbogbo eléyìí.
Ẹ má worry.
Àwọn ọba alátẹnujẹ ìgbà tí Sunday Igboho tán máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ mo sọ fún wọn mo ní please ẹ lọ bá wọn báyìí tẹ́ bá lọ bá wọn nkùnkùn ò lè ṣe kí ni mo nítorí pé ọba lèèyàn kọ́ ọba ló máa ń pàṣẹ nínú ìdè wọn mo bí wọn bá ti wá ṣe gbé oúnjẹ títẹ̀ gbogbo yẹn ni mo sọ ó dẹ̀ ń pè mí ní concern èmi mọ̀ ṣẹ́rí gbogbo nǹkan tí rí nǹkan tó ń rẹ̀ ní nísìn tó ń ṣe nísìn náà tó ń ṣe káàkiri tó fi ń pààyàn yìí 1983 náà ti fẹ́ ṣe kínní yẹn ọkọ̀ mi pẹ̀lú ẹni tó ń mú rí ṣé kò yẹ yín ọkọ mi pẹ̀lú ẹni tó ń mú rí èmi náà mo gbé gbóná fún ọ ń gbà yẹn ni kó tó release ọkọ mi girlfriend ọkọ mi kan ni mo mú lọ fún ọ náà fi release ẹ torí ó sọ pé tí ò bá fóun ní girlfriend jẹ pé òun máa pa ọkọ mi ni and that ma ọkùnrin tó ẹ tẹ́lẹ̀ fi ṣe president yìí ojú orí burúkú yìí so mo láti lọ mú girlfriend ẹ wá fún un kó tó fi ọkọ mi sílẹ̀ níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn ó lò sí wọn gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣe yìí 1983 náà ti fẹ́ ṣe ẹ bèrè lọ bàbá tí n bá ń purọ́.
Thank you so much.
àwa Yorùbá la ṣe operation fún oyún inú fún cancer nílùú òyìnbó l'Amẹ́ríkà ní Belgium ní kìnní àwa Yorùbá ọpọlọ wa wà ṣùgbọ́n wọn ò jẹ́ ká lò ó àwọn bàbá yẹn wọ́n wulẹ̀ kọ́ gbowó especially olójú ọ̀gbọ̀dọ̀ yìí. Ọlọ́run kò ṣàánú wa Ọlọ́run a máa yọ wa lọ.
I'll make sure pé nọ́mbà yẹn ẹ rí nọ́mbà yẹn ṣe ti get ma so that ẹ lè reach out sí wọn after ètò ṣe gbọ́ ma ẹ ṣe gan ma God bless you.
Wo ṣe gan ni mi mọ bínú mi ṣe dùn tó lálẹ́ tó wáyé kó gbé fóònù màá bẹ̀ lárí bẹ́ẹ̀.
I'm happy that pé at least owó ọ̀tẹ̀ in fact eventually owó ọ̀tẹ̀ pé ẹ finally make it through ẹ ṣe ma kẹ́ni nice night ẹ.
Ó ṣe gan ni Ọlọ́run àdọ́mọ ẹ̀ sí ojú òní tiẹ̀ bàbá ẹ ṣe ẹ kó àgbà o ẹ ṣe náà tẹ̀ ní bọ́sítà wa bá wa torí àwọn so worry wọn á ní ṣé kò ní sẹ́ni tó máa support mi pẹ̀lú gbogbo bí wọ́n ṣe ń ṣe pé kọ́wọn ọmọ yìí ṣe báyìí kọ́ni ṣe báyìí ṣẹ́rí wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ tí ẹ sọ jáde ni mo ti sọ fún ọmọ yẹn tẹ́lẹ̀ but wọ́n understand mi ẹ ṣe gan ni ẹ ṣe bàbá ọjọ́ ní àkúgbọ̀ jalè.
Baaseegun ẹ má bínú ẹ má dá wọn lóhùn ṣe ti get. Bí question tó fẹ́ wá béèrè ni pé ṣé ìlànà pẹ̀lú àwọn tí wọ́n ṣe rally fún Tinubu nìbàdàn and we've established that so tó bá ti dọ́dọ̀ yín sin sá ẹ bá mi top ẹ up. Now I have another caller. Hello there.
Maiyegun.
Sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Ekale.
Ekale. Tell me, Ambassador Tori Baaseegun wà lórí aago báyìí nsìn. So, tell Ambassador láti bọ̀.
In fact, you know me doing we go through. This is Tunde from Mercy.
Tunde, that is Tunde, sir, from South Africa. So, Tuna, over to you. Question or suggestion?
Yeah. Actually, I wanted to ask about how we in South Africa can enroll. I mean, because when it was given out on the website, I think it was I think it's for those in the UK. I'm mistaken. Maybe it's general. I don't know. So if we in South Africa can, apply or join the member, let us know. Okay. I want to know if it's the same website for everyone all over the world. So
I don't think so. I think Ilana has Ilana International, Ilana Oodua.
Yes. There's actually a new website to be set up by Ilana to cater for, because there are some countries that have websites and there are some countries that don't. And there is an idea being put forward to have a website that covers the entire universe, because as I was saying earlier, there are now Ilana members in Cambodia. I was surprised when that all came up, that somebody an Ilana member in Cambodia. So the plan is that in the next few weeks, there's going to be a central website that people can, who are not, say, in Europe or Canada or USA, can enroll through. But we are slowly getting there. You have to remember that we're only a couple of months old. But what we need to realize now is that things are urgent now. Right now we have to move fast. 2022 is going to be a pivotal year, and we must not miss this opportunity at all. It's going to be a pivotal year. Now, my advice is, anybody who is doing anything, please keep on doing it. I want Yoruba money on the waja. And we say so many examples where it is a collection of broomstick that makes a broom. It's a collection of hands that lifts Eru onto your head.
That carries the load onto your head, sir.
Yes. But what is interesting is this, that if you think, if you glued all the hands together, the hands are separate, but they have the same job. And it's the same with the broom. If you glued all the broomsticks together, it's become one broomstick. Exactly. So whatever you are doing, please do it. But the thing that I want to say is this: there is no blueprint for achieving self-determination. We can't pick something off the shelf. So anybody who thinks you can, there's some kind of formula. When the Soviet Union collapsed, there was no war, there was no fight. It was because Russia could no longer had sovereignty over the others. The power of Russia was finished. And it happened overnight. The whole place disintegrated just like that. So when people are in Nigeria, the day that Nigeria is going to disintegrate, you'll be very surprised how it's going to happen. But I don't know if you want me to summarize.
Yeah, this is the time for us to close it. I have a lot of people on the line who still want to call you, but sir, I have taken a lot of your time. This is past 11, and I would rather reschedule, and we'll do this again early enough, and it will be interesting. Sir, we are so grateful to have you. So what will be your closing remark? We've done a lot today. Most importantly, sir, remember, everybody wants to know, what should they do to be part of this in the UK? Please, let that be closing.
I will start by giving you the figures that I started with right at the beginning.
Please, sir.
There are 120,000 Yoruba people in London. There are Yoruba people everywhere in this country. I won't be surprised if we run into 1 million or more. We need the numbers to be able to tell the government of this country that we have power too, that we have one voice. And as I said, if you go to ilanauk.org, it only costs £5 to join. And that gives you power. Not just your power. It gives you a lot of power because you can tell us what you want, you can give us ideas, and when we appear before anybody, whether international body or a local body or whatever, we can say, this is the troop, this is the army. That is what we need to do. We really need to come together. When people talk about come together, everybody thinks you need to be in one organization or whatever. That everybody, even if you elevate one organization itself, and Ilana is the biggest self-determination organization in Yoruba land. Could see any other organization to Ilana. And therefore, what you want to do is to make Ilana stronger. And I'm saying that not because I'm a member of Ilana, but because that is the sensible thing to do. That we make sure that we have one organization that is so strong. It's so strong that on day one, Tabati by independence, whereby government to we can't. This is a very serious matter, and I will close by saying this. Nigeria is a formidable enemy. This is not going to be easy. And there are two things going for Nigeria. Number one, it's been alive for 61 years. It's a lot of years. And number two is the fact that Nigeria claims to have 200 million people. Pretend they are the giant in Africa and all that. That sort of nonsense suits the Western powers. They don't have to do anything. It is our job, our own job, to see this fight through. And with your support, we'll get there. With your support, we will get there. I am confident that this 2022 is the pivotal year for. I'm absolutely confident.
Thank you so much, sir. It's been a pleasure, even though we didn't expect to, in fact, have you. We thought you were going to be joining us on the phone since the audio, the video couldn't connect you to the studio. Now that I know this worked uninterrupted for 2 hours, sir, it's marvelous.
That's fine.
My friends said they would like to see you again, and it's been a pleasure for the last 2 hours. So this time around, when we see you next, it is probably going to be with a date that you would love to invite us as Yorubas across the UK. Come together. Let's do this one-on-one, not just on YouTube, on Facebook anymore. We would like to do this right here. And then, like you said, we can make Ilana a bigger, stronger platform than it is now to achieve the self-determination struggle. So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
And my regards to everyone around you tonight. I really took your time, okay? So I wanted to say good night to my friends. In your own way, sir, what should they expect next time? How should they even expect you here next time before you go?
That you turned up to listen. I'm really very grateful. And I'm very, very grateful for the questions that were so incisive and to the point. Please join us, ilanauk.org. Come and join us. Come and tell us your own views, and let us do this thing together. Thank you very much.
Together. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. And to everyone watching, you can still do it. Go on to Ilana UK. Just say Ilana UK .org. Let me see that again. One sec. Yes, just type Ilana UK.org and you'll be able to get onto the website if you are watching from the UK. It's important that we all sign up. £5 a month as a membership fee with all that has been outlined as a way forward in changing how this whole fight and the rest of it will go. The advocacy, the campaign, the awareness and others, okay? Sir, thank you so much once again. I can't stop thanking you, okay? So I'm going to see you some other time. You have a wonderful evening, sir. My regards to everyone over there.
Thank you. Good
night, sir. Yes, sir. Now, that is the coordinator for Ilana Oodua in the UK. Baaseegun, Alabe. We will identify him by that name from now. And if you watch this and you enjoy this, right, just have it in mind. You have a role to play. We all do. And until we begin to play that role, no matter how little or how big it is, if you don't make yourself available, it is likely going to be a pipe dream. There are all things we're talking about. I've seen their program. I've seen their plan. Trust me, they are like a rock solid. And when they get the right support, yes, you see that voice changing. And for everyone who have been asking about, how about us now? Why is it just the UK? Ilana Oodua is in every city, in every country all over the world. We just need to tell them to come out. This is no longer about, few people knowing themselves about this. It is now going to be a movement. And UK can be a standard, or let me say, a sort of a template that we can use to get people to do same in America, do same in Canada, do same in Dubai, do same there in Japan. We have them in Japan, by the way. Do same in China, do same there in India. Come back here to the Europe and cover the entire Europe. Because you are there already. Being a Yoruba man alone makes you Ilana compliant. So who says we can't do this? Of course we can. I'm glad we finally found a contact. It's been there all this while. 2 months ago, it came to life. Today, we found it and we'll build on it. To every one of you, my friends, thank you, as usual, for the support, the share, the participation, the calls and all that. And others, right? Thank you. I'm going to see you some other time. And if you are just joining this broadcast, honestly speaking, you haven't, though it seems you've missed. No, you haven't missed anything. Rewind this video, watch from the beginning, and you'll be too glad that you did. Now, go do that. And before you go as well, like that video, okay? Like it, share it. And I will see you some other time. To Baaseegun, for his time and, the household as well, I want to say a big thank you to them. To Ilana UK, I want to say a big thank you to all of you, and we will build this. Thank you, and good night from here. Daro.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ba bá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Tí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Òkúra olóṣèlú. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù.